Welcome to Weirdaholics with Tiffany
and Nicole.
How's it going? It's been a while.
It's been so long. This is a special edition Weirdaholics because we're back. Yay!
It's been about 4 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's been a while. I'll start off with my weird thing.
Sure.
My life is just a soap opera, and lots of weird stuff have happened.
Country song.
A country song happened?
No, your life is like a country song.
Yeah. I lost my dog. Lost my mans. I got mud on my tires once. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Well, I was trying to think of something that I actually wanted to share, but I don't really want to share anything that happened anyway. So, yeah. Oh, I lost a dress that I bought. So I went to the mall and bought a really cute dress, and I was so excited about it. And then I went to a coffee shop that was inside of the mall, and they were like kicking us out, and I left. And then I was like, oh shit, I don't have my bag anymore. And I tried to get back in, but they closed they're like garage doors, and I was like banging on the doors. I'm like, hey, my dress is in there. I went to customer service, and they're like, I don't know what to do. Okay. And so I just left, and I was like, oh, this day couldn't get any worse. And then I called them the next day, and luckily they had it. But I thought I was never going to see that dress again, and it was just so sad. But yeah,
it was sad because you were having a really bad day, so you did retail shopping therapy. Mm-hmm. So you bought a dress to make yourself feel better, but then you ended up losing the dress at the mall.
And it was a little pricey, so I was like, well, damn, now I'm out the dress and like $70, and yeah, this sucks.
Yeah.
So this is like the worst month of my life. Actually, it's July now, so maybe this month won't be the worst month of my life either.
Yeah, so June was pretty terrible for you.
Yeah, but July's gonna be great, guys and girls, and everything in between.
Let's hope.
It's gonna be great. So what's your weird thing?
So this happened a while ago, but it was gonna be my weird thing for this episode, so I'm still gonna say it. I was brushing my teeth on a Wednesday morning.
It's Wednesday, huh?
And I was thinking about how much I don't like my name while I was brushing my teeth, so I was trying to decide what other name would suit me better. And Natalie got stuck in my head. I was like, okay, maybe that was like a name in my past life, or maybe it's just I think of myself as a Natalie. I don't know. So Natalie was like the only name I could think of that really would suit me better. And I think I look like a Natalie more than a Tiffany. But then just a few hours later at work, someone posted a question of the day in our team Slack channel, and the question happened to be, if you could choose your own name, what would it be?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and since I had just decided that morning that Natalie should be my name, I had my answer ready for that question.
I love that.
And that's it.
Then, after that, remember what I said?
Huh?
When you told me that, I was like, oh, I named my guinea pig that when I was a kid.
Was that what you said?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I had a guinea pig named Natalie for some reason. I loved naming animals like cute girl names. Emily and Teresa were my hamsters, and yeah, it was so dumb. But yeah, Natalie was my guinea pig, and I loved the name Natalie.
Yeah, it's a good name.
It's fate.
What about the trip to Forks? That was weird.
Oh my goodness, we should just mention our Seattle trip. Yeah, so we went to Bellevue, Washington, and it's like right by Seattle, so we took some day trips to Seattle. And then we went up to the Hoh Rainforest, and that was so beautiful and incredible and amazing. Highly recommend. But I didn't even know that Forks was like right up north of the rainforest.
Like really close to Hoh Rainforest. So we stopped there.
Yeah, so I'm like, why not just indulge my little Twilight heart and go to Forks? So we drove there, and it is like the weirdest, creepiest hick town I've ever seen in my life, and it was so disappointing.
It's like not even a cute little town. Mm-mm. It's just a little town.
Yeah.
Like we would have driven through it and not even realized we drove through a town.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad. But they had Bella and Jacob's trucks in their like welcoming center, so
yeah, that was cool.
We got to see their trucks from the movie, and then we got to see Bella's house, and they had like a cardboard cutout of Edward in the window.
Oh my gosh, it was so weird. Like nothing looked like from out of the movies. I don't know if they even filmed in Forks at this point.
Yeah.
Like it was so weird.
It did not seem like in the movie.
Yeah, and they had like one bar there that we visited, and that was kind of weird.
We just like instantly left after.
Yeah, we're like, this doesn't look good. And yeah, everyone was just, I don't know, definitely not a tourist town.
Yeah, it wasn't even a cute little town, unfortunately. Sorry, Forks, but it's true.
Never again.
But we went to La Push Beach.
Uh-huh.
And Rialto Beach, and we went on a ferry ride, and that was probably my favorite part.
Ferries are so cool.
It was so fun. I love the ferry.
Yeah.
And then our main reason for going to Seattle was to see Blink-182.
Yeah.
So we got to see them, the original Mark, Tom, and Travis from Blink-182.
Favorite band.
Yep. So that was great.
Yeah.
So we had a fun little trip to Seattle.
Yeah, it was much needed, and the nature up there is insanely beautiful. So
Yeah,
definitely take
very
a trip
pretty.
up there if you can.
And it happened to not be overcast while we visited.
Yeah,
like
the
at
whole
all.
time. For like,
It was very sunny and
Yeah.
blue skies.
Was it 4 days or something that we were there?
5 days.
Yeah.
And it was perfectly
It
blue
was
sky the whole time. We were like,
so great.
we were thinking they exaggerated their weather. But
Yeah.
no.
We're like, does it really even rain there, Seattle? Come on. But yeah, there was moments of little like, I don't want to call it luck, but little things like that. Like, yeah, it was sunny the whole time, and like, yeah, this little coincidence happened. We happened to drive by Ruby Beach, and we were gonna skip it completely, and just little things like that. So it was a really
And then
good
we
trip.
got a great recommendation from a tour guide. It happened to be the amazing ferry that we wouldn't have done otherwise, and it
Yeah.
happened to be like favorite part of Seattle. So
Yeah.
it was cool.
So good trip. Good trip.
So today I'm going to talk about the Battle of Gettysburg, and I was inspired by your dad's story in the last episode.
Yay! I'm
His
so
ghost
glad.
story.
Yeah. It was one of his favorite places, like one of his favorite vacations. Him and my mom, they both love like Civil War history and stuff, so
Nerds.
I'm excited. Nerd!
So yeah, that inspired me to report on the ghosts at the Battle of Gettysburg.
I'm excited to hear about all the hundreds of ghosts.
Hundreds of thousands of ghosts, really.
Yeah, probably.
So, do you know the dates?
No, but I know the Muffin Man.
Who is that?
The Muffin Man, obviously. His first name is The, last name Muffin Man. The dates? Oh, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Oh, is it in the 1700s or 1800s?
1800s.
1819 to 1820.
No. Actually,
Oh.
you know we have a weird thing of the week happening right this second.
What?
Okay, so the Battle of Gettysburg happened between July 1st and July 3rd, 1863. Today is July 2nd. It is the anniversary of the very middle of the Battle of Gettysburg right now.
That is very specific, and I love it.
So,
I am living for it.
help me with the math. It's 2023,
Oh, fuck.
and it happened in 1863.
Oh, boy.
So what anniversary is it right now? So 160-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So today,
That is weird.
160 years ago from today, was the very smack dab middle of the battle happening of the Gettysburg.
The Gettysburg.
The Gettysburg.
The Gettysburg address.
The Gettys.
Wait, why did you say the address? Gettysburg address.
Because the Gettysburg Address is actually a really big part of history.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
We're talking about the battle, though. The blood and the guts and the sadness and despair and murder.
Murder.
Muck duck.
That is so weird. July 1st to the July 3rd.
Well, now we can skip next week's weird thing.
Wow. Okay. So, it was one of the bloodiest and deadliest battles in American history, and it's believed to mark the turning point of the American Civil War, which eventually led to the fall of the Confederation and victory to the Union.
Whoop, whoop.
Apparently, right as the Battle of Gettysburg was beginning, the ghost of George Washington was riding on a ghost horse and joined the Union on the front lines, leading them to victory.
That would be cool to see, honestly.
But I don't believe it, because George Washington, didn't he have slaves? Like, why would he want the Union to win? Unless
Yeah.
he was like, I hate having slaves, but I'll have them anyways, because it's normal.
Yeah, because society said it was normal. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe they
think
just
he
said
did.
that to make them seem like they're in the right side of God.
Yeah.
Let me look. Woof. At the time of George Washington's death, the Mount Vernon enslaved population consisted of 317 people. Of the 317 enslaved people, a little less than half, 123 people, were owned by George Washington himself.
No, Georgie boy.
He owned half of that town's slaves.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm sure George Washington was leading the Union to victory.
Yeah.
Like, no more slaves, even though I owned 123.
Yeah, is that what he sounded like, too?
Yes.
I think that they're liars and they did not see his ghost at all. So, all other ghosts are real, but this one is not.
Right? All other ghosts in the whole
Every
history
single
of
one
ghost
of them.
stories are correct
Yeah,
and real.
especially the ones that Zach Bagans saw.
Yes, but not this George Washington ghost.
No.
No. You heard it here first. At the end of the battle, there were more than 50,000 casualties, including 7,000 to 10,000 killed. They don't have an exact number because it's just chaos.
They didn't have computers back then.
And that. Chaos ensued. And the death of one civilian named, you should know this, it is so popular.
Susan B. Anthony.
What? Jenny Wade.
Oh, I recognize the name.
Yeah, she was the one civilian. She winked. She does
No,
not
I
recognize.
didn't wink at all. I knew it, I swear.
She doesn't know anything.
I have something in my eye. You know nothing.
You know nothing. Nothing. So yeah, that's the one civilian who died. Everyone else was just stupid soldiers, so no one cares.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a woman who died, so no one cares about that either.
No, but we do, because we make sure that she's mentioned anytime we talk about casualties of the Gettysburg.
Do we? Well, yes, we do. Yes. Jenny Wade, right?
Denny Jade.
No, it's Jenny Wade. Denny Jade. No one was named Denny back then.
No, probably not. After the battle, the streets and fields of Gettysburg were littered with dead bodies.
That is so creepy.
Like, why are they littering so much? Like, that's not good for the earth.
They have the actual battle somewhere else, but then people purposely take bodies and just throw them into the street, like trash day.
Oh. Gross. They tried to quickly bury some of the bodies in shallow graves.
Shallow grave.
So, I was adjusting my bra and it did not go well.
It went so well.
And it was very inappropriate timing.
Yeah, shallow graves.
Yeah.
Da-dun, da-da, da-da, da-da.
They tried to quickly bury some of the bodies in shallow graves, but many still lay decaying in the summer heat.
Ew.
Because of the strong smell of the decaying corpses, people only went outside if they had a scented handkerchief pressed to their noses.
That is so sad, honestly.
Mm-hmm. A soldier wrote, "Corpses, swollen to twice their original size, actually burst asunder. Several human or inhuman corpses sat upright against a fence, with arms extended in the air and faces hideous, with something very like a fixed leer."
What the hell's a fixed leer? Also, what he said something else that was weird too.
Oh, burst asunder?
Yeah, burst asunder.
Like the body just like popped?
Yeah.
A leer is a look or a gaze in an unpleasant, malicious way.
It's like this.
And then their example on the dictionary, bystanders were leering at the nude painting.
Oh my stars!
That's a great sentence. Use it in a sentence.
Oh, Sandra! Avert your eyes.
I can't help but leer at this nudity.
Oh, we should bring back words like that, though. Like old school words.
Yeah.
You want to go leer at some birds real quick?
Yeah, I would love to leer at anything, really. From a New Jersey soldier, he says, "Some with faces bloated and blackened beyond recognition lay with glassy eyes staring up at the blazing summer sun. Others, with faces downward and clenched hands, filled with grass or earth, which told of the agony of the last moments. Here a headless trunk, there a severed limb. In all the grotesque positions that unbearable pain and intense suffering contorts the human form, they lay.
That is horrific, honestly.
I was like, I know it was like really gross, but I was like loving, like, it was poetry. Like,
Yeah.
I love the way it just, like, the descriptions was just great.
So good. You should repeat the poem at the end and do like a cool voice.
Here, a headless trunk. There, a severed limb. In other grotesque positions, that unbearable pain and intense suffering contorts the human form they lay.
Contorts the human form. It's not like Wilford Brimley at the end.
Contorts the human form they lay.
Ooh, that one's spooky.
Ooh. Some 3,000 to 5,000 horse carcasses had to be burned. Poor horses, like, they didn't sign up for this fucking war.
That's the worst part.
I hate that they use animals in their war.
I know.
And they reportedly caused the townsfolk to grow ill from the stench.
Oh, how sad.
Poor humans growing ill from the stench of all the horses that were involved in your war. Your
massacred. Yeah.
Poor horses. The corpses were later exhumed and reburied, like the corpses of, like, men and horses.
Not the horses.
Maybe horses too, but I'm assuming men. Were later exhumed and reburied at the newly formed National Military Park Cemetery. But there were so many dead bodies that not all of them were given a proper burial.
Sad. What if your grandpa, like, didn't get a proper burial?
I'd be like, then you shouldn't have joined the war. Just kidding.
Take that, Grandpa. Oh, what's up?
I mean, we're fighting for an understandable cause, okay? I'm just joking. So, because lots of soldiers didn't get a proper burial, many believe their ghosts still wander the area. This small town is now a hotspot of paranormal activity. Ghost hunters and researchers come from all over the world to investigate it.
We should watch the... Wait, did we already watch the Gettysburg Ghost Adventures? And it wasn't
I
very
did
good?
for this episode, and I'm about to talk about it. Because it was ridiculous. I will tell you about it.
I think I'm going to be disappointed.
You're going to be pissed at Zach.
Ugh.
He's so... Okay, you'll see.
Okay.
It has been said that acre for acre, Gettysburg is probably the most haunted piece of ground in all of America.
America!
From sea to shining sea.
God bless the USA.
Just kidding. I'll take that out.
No, leave it in. I'm so naughty.
All right, so I'm going to start with just the general battlefield ghosty stuff.
Ghosty ghosts.
And then I'll go into actual, like, inns and houses and stuff like that. So park rangers who have lived in various old buildings within the Gettysburg National Military Park have experienced strange manifestations. Stop it.
I didn't understand that.
Oh, it's
Dang
like
it.
it's like a Siri thing. Like a
Yeah.
hello Google thing.
Get a hold of yourself, woman. This is a man's topic.
This is America. Okay. Oh, wait, I can't.
You got the giggles. I'll wait 15 minutes.
Good. I haven't had the giggles in so long.
That's true.
Okay.
Have experienced strange Why is it doing that? Maybe I need to shut my phone out of the room.
Oh my god. This is the best night of my life. What?
Let's try
Oh
again.
my god, what coincidences.
Have experienced strange. There's something
Something's happening.
There's something I'm saying that's causing my phone to freak out. Have experienced strange manifestations. Have seen weird things. The sound of mysterious footsteps. An unexplained smell of tobacco smoke and gunpowder. The sounds of battle and the cries of wounded soldiers. Apparitions of phantom soldiers, seen marching in formation, riding horses, and fighting. Ghostly Civil War music and glowing orbs. So there's been a few battle reenactment actors who have had some experiences. So there's one from Tom Canfield. He is a Civil War scholar, collector, and reenactor. He had an experience in 1996. He was wearing his Union uniform for a reenactment at the time. He said, "I moved about taking positions behind the rocks where I'd seen Confederates in paintings, firing at the Union line. Suddenly, I felt a shove from behind. I quickly turned, but no one was there. It had seemed much colder and darker than it had before, but that was probably due to my imagination, which was working overtime by then." Canfield said that he felt another shove after that, so he retreated behind where the Union lines once were, and he said that after he retreated, he didn't feel any more shoving. So he believes the Confederates didn't appreciate him being over the line.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Like, get the hell off my line, bro.
Like, respect our lines here.
Respect our boundaries, literally.
As you shoot us in the face, respect the boundary of the line. Here's one from Richard Knapp.
I thought you were going to say Richard Nixon.
Yeah. In the summer of 1993, Richard Knapp and his friends were at Gettysburg for the battle reenactments. As they hiked along a creek called Bloody Run,
Ew, why did they call it that? Well, I know why, but like...
probably because
it like Sunflower Run or something.
Probably ran red with blood and then it got its name after that. But I don't know if it was called that before, actually.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
It just sounds like a cursed river.
Yeah, it's probably called, like, Tulip Lane or something. And then they're like, oh, it's probably, like, Bloody River or whatever.
Yeah, it definitely sounds cursed.
Yeah.
It sounds like a period or something. Bloody Run.
Bloody Run. Bloody Run. Instead of Bloody Mary, say Bloody Run.
They came across a man laying in the bushes. This is what he saw. Quote, "He appeared to be a man laying there, but he wasn't solid like you and I are. I mean, he was more of a hazy mist. He was shivering because it looked like he was in a lot of pain. I couldn't go no further. Emotionally, I broke down and cried. I was shaking. I had to actually have somebody come back and lead me out of the trail," end quote. I mean, I probably have a very similar reaction to seeing an actual ghost with my own eyes, because I don't think I've ever really seen one.
I know.
Outside of sleep paralysis.
Yeah. I'd be shivering and shaking, too.
Do you know about the movie called Gettysburg?
I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
Me either. So it was a movie that was filmed in 1993, and they actually filmed on the battle sites.
Ooh.
So it had thousands of Civil War reenactors recreating the battles for the movie. And one day around sunset, a group of extras playing soldiers were relaxing at a place called Little Round Top. They heard a rustling in the trees, and then they were startled when a haggard old man in a soldier uniform came over. They said that he was filthy and he reeked of body odor and sulfur, which was one of the main ingredients in the black powder guns during the Civil War.
Ugh, doesn't sulfur smell like rotten eggs?
Yeah, it smells awful.
What if he just, like, farted?
I mean, possibly. I would blame it on a ghost.
Yeah.
I'd blame it on anything, really. The man came up and said to them, "Rough one today, eh, boys?" Then he gave them a handful of musket rounds. The musket rounds felt heavier than the prop ammunition that they've been using for the movie. So after that experience, they decided to go over to the head of props to ask about the musket rounds, and they were told the rounds weren't props for the film. So they went to the local museum, and they were able to get it confirmed that the musket balls were 130 years old, and that they would have been used at Gettysburg.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
So do you know if the guy just, like, disappeared after, or, like...
I'm not sure. I think maybe he just, like, walked off, because they didn't mention him suddenly disappearing.
Yeah.
So I think he kind of just walked off.
He
and
went
they
right
were
back
like,
into the bushes.
Yeah, and they were like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
There's one area on the battlefield that was really bloody, really intense during the Battle of Gettysburg. It was called Devil's Den. So this place is super haunted. So Devil's Den is a natural rock formation on a hill, and it's believed to be the most paranormally active location in the entire Gettysburg battlefield.
Probably in the whole America, too, right?
Yeah, in all of America, from sea to shining sea. The boulders provided dozens of hiding places and ambush spots for soldiers, which was why it was such a popular spot here for so much fighting. After the battle, the boulders at Devil's Den were covered in dead bodies.
Oof.
One of the first soldiers to see the area after battle said that men had, quote, torn and twisted leaves and grass in their agonies, and their mouths filled with soil. They had literally bitten the dust, end quote. Today at Devil's Den, people experience a lot of paranormal activity, like sounds of drums and gunshots. They hear men shouting and moaning, even though no one's nearby. They see ghosts of Confederate sharpshooters. They see or hear soldiers marching towards them, but then suddenly disappear. The sensation of someone touching them or holding their hand. Reports of a man riding on a horse who suddenly vanishes. People have smelled smoke with no apparent cause, and they see weird and unexpected flashes of lights in the sky. That seems more like UFO to me, but it could be like residual, like gunshots.
Yeah, could be. I wonder if there is a place that has ghost activity and alien activity.
Yeah, Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Fucking portals and shit.
I think they have ghost activity there. I don't even
remember.
remember.
Yeah, I think they do, but yeah. I digress.
One thing that happens a lot in Devil's Den is that camera batteries will suddenly die when they want to take a picture, but as soon as they leave the area, their camera works like normal.
How convenient. Hey, Mom, can you take a picture of me? Sure, sweetie. Oh, oops, the battery's gone.
Guess I was only able to take a picture of myself.
Yeah, a selfie. So bad.
None of your friends will believe you because you didn't get a picture of you here.
Don't tell your friends or I'll say you're a slut.
And sometimes if someone is able to successfully take a picture in this area, the photo will end up just being blank, or it'll have like a ghost show up in the photo.
Ooh.
A lot of people believe that the reason why cameras malfunction so much in this area is because there's a spirit here that dislikes photographs being taken. That could be because there was a Confederate soldier who was used to take a lot of famous photographs, and this photographer would take pictures of this dead soldier laying on the ground, and then he would move the soldier's body to another spot and take more pictures. So he was using this dead body as like a model, like the model for the photo, and like prop it up and position it differently in different areas, which is really disrespectful. And that photographer ended up, becoming really, his photos became famous, but it was not really ethical the way he got these photos done. So a lot of people think that soldier, because he was disturbed for these photos, he's the one who disturbs all these cameras trying to take pictures in the area.
That's my dude right there.
Yeah. Many visitors saw a man in a floppy hat who they thought was a Civil War reenactor, so they've had their photos taken with him, but when they return home and have their film developed, the man is missing from the photo.
What about ones that have like their arm around the guy, and then they come home and there's no one there under their arm?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
That's
creepy.
Weird.
Yeah. So I think that's evidence right there. Ghosts are real.
Except I could just like take a picture of me and I pretend like my arm's around someone, and then I develop the photo and be like, see?
Ghost!
Ghost!
But then you'd run the risk of just looking dumb while you're taking the photo. So I think that would deter a lot of people.
Yeah. No one wants to look dumb. One young woman was climbing around the boulders with a friend when she felt a hand grab her ankle. She looked down and saw a young man in a Civil War uniform reaching up at her from between some boulders.
Ooh.
She screamed for her friend, but when she looked back down, the man was gone.
And her friend was dead.
And her friend was dead on the rock. Don't joke about that.
It's real life.
Apparently, people who take things from this area in Devil's Den, like sticks, rocks, dirt, grass,
Air.
that they breathe,
Mason jar just
they become cursed.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say, don't ever take anything from like where you're visiting, but I just took a bunch of rocks from
my God, we did.
La Push, so.
But what if those beaches are cursed and we took a bunch of the rocks home?
They are on an Indian reservation. Sorry, Native American reservation, yeah.
I shouldn't have
No,
done
we
that.
can't think like that because so far everything's been fine.
Has it though?
No! Oh my god!
Me and Brandon have been fighting. Things have been weird.
And I haven't got my dog.
We're gonna have to go all the way back to Seattle.
Oh my god.
To return these rocks.
I'm like gonna start freaking out about this now.
Let's not.
We can't keep these.
I'll just like put a crystal on them and like sage them.
And say ooh-ah, ooh-ah, ee.
I'll sage them. It'll be
Okay.
fine. We'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye out. Don't think about it too much or I'll say you're a slut.
Hey. Hey, do you want some rocks? I got them from a really cool place.
Ooh.
They're really pretty.
It's kind of like haunted dolls. You just like see who's going to take the doll from you.
Oh my god.
Because you can't just throw it away.
I know. We can't even burn them. Okay, anyway. Can't talk about this.
Let's not put bad juju out there. They're
Yeah.
fine. They're just rocks.
They're just rocks.
Okay. So, officials at the battlefield receive a lot of things in the mail from people returning items that they took from this area, and their letters explain how taking the item brought them bad luck, like divorce or illness, and they like, take it back. Take it back.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Okay, so there's an option. We could just
let's just mail it to Rialto Beach. To Rialto Beach.
The park.
Take your rock
the
back.
state park. I don't know. Who owns the beach? The natives.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're fucked. Jason Lamoureux, a Gettysburg senior, went to Devil's Den one night and had an experience. The end.
An experience. Ooh.
Quote, so me and my 4 friends decided to walk to Devil's Den one spring night at 2 a.m., as you do. When we got there, we were climbing on the boulders and taking pictures exploring. When I was taking a picture, my phone shut off out of nowhere, even though it was 50% charged. Then my friend showed us a picture he had taken, and it resembled a ghostly image of a man on a horse. End quote.
A man!
On a horse. That would be a really cool ghost picture. Like, not only did you get a ghost of a man, but a horse too.
Yeah, remember when I got a picture of a ghost cat?
Oh yeah, with just the eyes reflecting
Yeah.
from all the reflective surfaces in the area.
Yeah.
Every picture had a ghost cat in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, the helpful hippie is a really popular ghost around Devil's Den.
Aww.
One afternoon, a woman went into the National Park Service Information Center to tell a story about what had happened to her at Devil's Den. She stopped her car at Devil's Den and had gotten out to take some photos. Just as she was about to take a photo, she felt like someone was standing next to her. When she turned to look, she noticed that a man had approached her. Pepper spray, am I right?
Yeah.
Like, get it out.
Sing. Remember the Sandra Bullock movie? Step, in, nose, groin.
Yeah. He looked kind of like a hippie, with shoulder-length hair, ragged clothing, a big floppy hat, and bare feet. The man looked at her and said, "What you are looking for is over there," and he pointed behind her. The woman turned her head to see what he was pointing at, and when she turned back around again, he was gone.
Oh, I think she took too much acid.
That must be it. Apparently, the man she describes fits what a Texan used to look like at the Battle of Gettysburg.
Just one Texan?
Just a single Texan. Another guy was taking photos at the Devil's Den, and after he got the film developed, a guy who wasn't there showed up in the photo. The man in the photo also looked like a hippie, with long hair, old clothing, and barefoot. So, multiple people are seeing this hippie guy. Yeah.
I want to see him.
Me
Is he
too.
hot?
If you like raggedy, hippie, barefoot people, yeah.
No.
Then no. With old clothes. So here's just a bit of weird backstory about Devil's Den. It was apparently already considered a strange and haunted spot even before the Battle of Gettysburg. It used to be a Native American hunting ground.
There we are. There we are right there, folks. Native American.
Mm-hmm. Another battle named the Battle of the Crows was fought here, and in the night people have heard war cries from the Native Americans. One legend says that the Devil's Den was always known for being infested with snakes, and that one gigantic snake in particular always outsmarted and escaped the local hunters for many years, and they were never able to capture or kill him. So the snake was nicknamed the Devil, and the area of rocks was called his den. So that's where the name Devil's Den comes from.
Not from all the murder that happened there.
No, just a snake.
Okay.
A big
But
snake.
also, just imagine if you're fighting this war and you not only have to fight this war and, like, get shot at, but you also have to try and avoid snakes.
Yeah.
Like, I bet these soldiers had so many snake bites or animal bites or just, like, sickness, like, so much sickness. I know there's, like, trench foot and shit from, the World War II and World War I.
And you probably feel like shit.
Yeah.
So you're having to fight for your life while you feel like shit because you had to walk miles and miles and not eat enough and
heavy gear,
trench foot.
probably hot as shit.
Yeah. Just sounds like hell.
Yeah, poor guys.
So, we're done with the battlefield areas. We're going to move on to different houses and inns that are haunted because of this battle now.
Let's stay there.
Let's just stay at the battle?
Yeah, the battlefield.
The battlefield? Well, I have nothing left for you, so the end.
No, I mean, stay the night at, one of the inns.
I mean, I wouldn't mind going to see this historical stuff.
I know, it'd be really cool.
So the first place we're going to visit is Cashtown Inn. The Cashtown Inn was where the first soldier of Gettysburg was allegedly killed. It was used as a field hospital after the battle, and it was reported that amputated limbs from the wounded soldiers were piled so high up that the sunlight could not enter through the windows.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ew, it's like a Christmas tree of limbs.
So gross. Today, they use it as a bed and breakfast.
Beautiful.
So cute.
Yes.
You know, I want to go to a bed and breakfast where I can point to part of the room and be like, amputated limbs stacked up about 7 feet tall right there.
Yeah. So such history, such blood.
The current owners, Mr. and Mrs. Palladino, have pictures of strange orbs and skeletons showing up in their photos.
Oh, skeletons?
Skeletons.
You never hear about that. That's amazing.
It was probably just a few lines.
Oh yeah, this is totally a skeleton.
This
it's
looks like
tree
a rib
branches or
cage.
something. Yeah. I want a full-on skeleton in my photos.
Yeah. They claim that guests have reported thumping on doors, footsteps in their room, lights turning on and off by themselves, and doors locking and unlocking by themselves.
Those are some peeping Tom ghosts right there. Like thumping on doors, walking in,
Walking through their room.
Yeah.
Next, we'll go to Daniel Lady Farm. This place was used as the Confederate Army's field hospital. And a lot of these places, this side, took over that house.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been so crazy for the townspeople. My house was taken over by the Union,
Yeah.
the Confederates
Yeah.
right now. Who knows what the fuck they're doing in there. And,
Yeah.
you return home and it's, limbs everywhere, dead bodies everywhere.
Christmas tree limbs.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I mean, the Civil War itself is weird to me. Just, both of us, two sides of America fighting.
Me and then the other me.
Me.
Fighting each other.
Oh, that happens every day.
Yeah.
Parallel Dimension Nicole is a bitch.
When the Lady family returned to the farm after the battle, they discovered the body of a dead Confederate soldier still laying in an upstairs bedroom. So that's fun for them.
Ugh.
But both the house and the barn still have bullet hole damage in them. There are bloodstains on the floor from amputated limbs, and even bloody fingerprints are visible in the woodwork around the home.
Oh. Why?
Because there was a battle going on in that area.
Oh, which one?
This is Gettysburg.
Oh, Gettysburg.
In the barn area, there are engraved initials that were carved into the beams from wounded soldiers. That is...
sad.
That is vandalism. Let's just add that to your sin.
That was, like, good comedic timing right there. You were, like, a silence. You're like, that is vandalism. And it just, like, had an impact, you know?
Well, it was more that I couldn't think of the word.
Well, don't say that. Shh. It was just good comedic timing. You should do stand-up.
At least 37 soldiers who died at the farm were buried on the grounds. The Daniel Lady Farm is now owned by the Gettysburg Battlefield Preservation Association and is open for special events and tours of the house.
Why is it called Daniel Lady?
You know, it's probably because... So their last name is Lady.
Oh, okay.
And his first name's Daniel, so it's a Daniel Lady Farm.
I don't know, like a cross-dresser or something?
You know, this is a Daniel Lady. Next, we have Dobbin House Inn. So the Dobbin House is a historic Pennsylvania restaurant that dates back to 1776.
That's crazy.
That's like...
I didn't even know they had restaurants back then.
Yeah. It was probably more of like a nice mom who liked to feed the townspeople.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or she just had a ton of children. They were like, it's basically a restaurant.
It's a restaurant.
1776, that's when we became a country, right?
Yes.
So that restaurant happened the year we became a country.
That is so convenient.
Yeah. This old stone house was famously once a stopping point on the Underground Railroad. The Dobbin House was used as a field hospital for both the Union and Confederate soldiers during the battle, and the ghosts of slaves and soldiers have both been seen haunting the building.
Okay, that'd be a really cool building to see because it's like the Underground Railroad and a hospital and restaurant.
Ghosts and super historic. Yeah.
But do they have skeletons?
Yeah, do they?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Come on.
Oh, there's probably skeletons buried all over the area.
Oh, yeah. Hey, your competitor has skeletons. Why don't you?
It's believed that the ghost of the inn's owner and founder, Alexander Dobbin, still appears at various places throughout the inn, always smoking a cigar.
That's probably what killed him. Don't smoke cigars.
People have reported seeing a young, frightened girl or sometimes a Confederate soldier looking out the window. Strange and unexplained blood stains are said to manifest on the floors or the walls, but suddenly disappear after.
Ew. What if you have a blood stain in your room, and then the hotel...
I mean, I do.
Ew.
You know, when you leak.
Oh.
I don't know if a guy knows what leaking means.
Cover your ears. Just cover your ears. But anyway, like the hotel charges you $500, and then it disappears, and you're like... What the hell? Like, I didn't do this. And then like, oh, thanks for cleaning it up, but you still owe $500.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that, like, never happens. But I'm sure they know that, like, if they see a blood stain,
it's just
like,
the ghost.
They're like, should we call the cops? Should we have this investigated? Or is this just another ghostly blood stain that's going to go away on its own? Like, others have seen blue orbs, heard phantom footsteps, and will sometimes see mischievous ghosts lighting fires in the fireplaces.
What? So first of all, why are they mischievous if they're just like lighting a fire in the fireplace?
I probably just copied and pasted that from somewhere.
So mischievous. Ooh.
How about...
I'm following fire safety codes. Ooh.
I'm going to update it to my own wording. And have seen ghosts lighting fires in fireplaces. See, we don't need to be adding a bunch of buzzwords in this episode.
Yeah, like sneaky or mischievous or filthy.
Some have seen filthy ghosts lighting fires in fireplaces.
Ooh, my skirt.
You know, it would be mischievous if they were lighting fires in everywhere else but fireplaces.
Exactly, yeah.
That's mischievous.
So whoever wrote this, terrible.
This place is now used as a fine dining restaurant, a pub, and a bed and breakfast. I would love to go there for real.
I know. Yeah, let's go.
Like a pub, restaurant, and bed and breakfast with a ghostly past and like super historic. Yeah, it's just, I have to go there.
There should be a Tinder for haunted places.
Yeah. Maybe, I wonder if there is an app for that. Just like you put in your location and you see like the most like haunted places that you can actually go in that are like bed and breakfast or...
I think we just thought of $1 million app idea. No one steal it.
Nobody steal it, okay? Promise?
Wait, pinky promise?
Next we have Farnsworth House Inn. This fucking place, was built in 1810. During the battle, sharpshooters from the Confederacy overtook the house and used it as their sniping station.
Ooh, scary.
On the third day of the battle, Union soldiers stormed the house and killed many of the Confederate snipers, and so they were able to take over the house. The inn was transformed into a hospital after they cleared out the sharpshooters. All of the bullet holes still remain in the house's exterior today.
Yee!
To this day.
Right now?
Yeah.
July whatever?
July 2nd. 160 years after the battle.
What if they disappeared?
The anniversary, remember?
Yeah. What if they disappeared, though?
This one doesn't say the bullet holes disappear.
Oh, so it does say that they're still there.
Yes. So this place is now a restaurant, bar, bed and breakfast. So another great place to stay. We should, like, go to all these different places and stay for a night or two.
Yes.
Many ghost hunting tours are offered at the Farnsworth House. The cellar offers a morning theater, complete with an antique coffin, and an upstairs window is believed to be where a sharpshooter took the fatal shot that killed Jenny Wade.
Jenny Wade, the single civilian casualty?
Yes.
Oh my.
You know your history.
Yeah.
The house is haunted by 16 spirits, exactly. No more, no less.
Isn't there a movie called 13 Ghosts?
Yes.
That's close to 16.
It is. Good job. Including that of an 8-year-old boy, several Civil War soldiers, and a former midwife. This has happened to multiple people. They've taken a photo of the inn while they're standing outside, so it's the exterior of the building, and they will see a ghost looking at them through the window.
Okay.
People have heard the sounds of breathing and and voices when no one is around. They'll hear doors slamming. Sometimes there's a strong scent of cigars. Some people hear the sound of singing coming from the basement. Employees will feel like they're being followed throughout their workday and hear footsteps. But whenever they turn around, nobody's there. Guests and employees have seen apparitions and shadow figures, especially in the dining room area. Like, that'd be so cool to dine there if, like, ghosts appear in that area a lot.
Yeah, I mean, my local Wendy's is haunted, and sometimes I'm eating my fries and I see a ghost next to me, and that's pretty
Is
cool.
it really haunted?
No.
Okay. Well, you shouldn't tell lies. Because I really was excited to hear that we have a local Wendy's that's haunted. I was like, let's go get a Frosty right now over there.
Oh, that sounds good.
Guests of the inn sometimes feel like they're being tucked in at night.
Cute.
Or sometimes they feel like their bed is being shaken in the middle of the night.
Not cute.
Like, imagine it tucks you in. You're like, okay, well, that's kind of nice.
Kisses you on the forehead.
Yeah. And then as soon as you're starting to drift off to sleep, the fucking ghost starts shaking your bed like, haha, I'm not actually nice.
Haha, what up, sucker? Get out of my home, biatch.
Like, it would be seriously the worst to have your bed shaken in the middle of the night. And then, like, of course we would just assume it's an earthquake, but if we're the only one that felt it, I don't know.
We're the only one who dealt it.
The one who felt it is the one who dealt it. And some guests have reported that it felt like someone came over and sat down at the edge of their bed late at night. The mattress will even look like it dips under the weight of a person.
No siree.
Visitors will sometimes lay toys out for the ghost of the young boy named Jeremy to play with during the night, and when they wake up in the morning, the toy was moved.
Oh, it was moved like a centimeter.
It was probably from the bed shaking above.
Oh, yeah.
There's one ghost of a lady who's popular at this inn. She's very lifelike, so she looks real when people see her. They don't realize she's a ghost a lot of the time.
Ooh.
She's an older lady wearing old-timey clothes. She spends most of her time between the tavern and the kitchen. Me too, am I right?
Yeah, am I right, ladies?
She's been seen in the kitchen and can be sassy to the waiting staff. Me too, am I right?
Am I right?
Once, a waitress felt her apron strings being pulled hard. She turned around, but no one was there.
Oh, that is another little creeper ghost.
That's mischievous.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to spend the whole rest of the episode trying to describe what mischievous means, because someone that I totally stole their words from them used it incorrectly.
A ghost walking, not mischievous. A ghost pulling apron strings, mischievous.
The next one is Gettysburg College.
Oh, Gettysburg College!
Your mom went to Gettysburg College.
Wow, were you setting me up for that for like 5 minutes?
No.
Oh.
It just comes naturally. Like, spontaneously, you know?
Yeah.
The college was founded in 1832. Gettysburg College served as a field hospital for both sides during the Civil War. Many men died from battle wounds, infection, and illnesses on the college's grounds. The college's Pennsylvania Hall served a dual purpose as a lookout post, hospital, and a morgue during the battle.
Eesh.
A number of officers, including General Lee, used the cupola of the old dorm to keep an eye on the progress of the battle.
The General Lee?
Yep.
Wow.
Pennsylvania Hall is now one of the most haunted buildings on campus.
Probably in America, too.
The most haunted campus in all of America, from sea to shining sea. From sea to shining sea. That's hard.
From sea to shining sea. It is. From sea to shining sea.
We've had a few shots, if you couldn't tell.
Wow. One of us has.
Yeah. Nicole drinks some wine.
Yeah, we get to play this game where the listener has to decide which one's drunk.
Which one's drunker?
Yeah, that.
Historic records say that weird blood... I'm trying to add weird in because I totally forgot to add weird into my notes. So
Weird blood. Not normal blood, but weird blood.
So that was a bad use of weird. Let me try again.
Just like mischievous.
Yeah. Now we have to describe what weird means. Historic records say that blood sprayed the weird walls and floors. Just kidding. That was also a really bad use of weird.
Just drink, please.
Just take a drink.
Take like 3
I give
shots
up.
for that one.
I give up. Historic records say that blood sprayed the walls and floors of the rooms as doctors operated without anesthetic.
Ew, ow, ew.
And they would just deal with bullet wounds by amputation.
Fuck that. No.
So,
No.
your arm is shot? Let's just take your whole fucking arm off. Because there's just too much. There's too many wounds to treat. Like, they just have to go quick.
Yeah. All right, next amputee, go. I have a cold. Amputee.
My head hurts. Amputate it.
Amputate the head.
This is not funny. Soldiers were usually fully conscious during their operations and amputations. Like, ugh.
I could not even imagine that at all.
War really is hell.
It is.
Yeah. Students and professors have experienced things like objects going missing or being moved.
Ghosts.
Yeah. Oh, my homework,
My homework went missing.
It just went missing. It must be the ghost. Lights.
This is Seinfeld. What's the deal with missing homework?
Must be the ghost. Lights will flicker on and off. People will sense negative energies. Reports of seeing full-bodied apparitions of soldiers around the college. And there are reports of soldiers still standing watch or pacing back and forth in the cupola overlooking the campus. You know, maybe General Lee is the one you're seeing in that cupola.
Or
I don't even know if I'm saying cupola right.
Maybe
like
it's...
I've never heard that word before.
Maybe it's Capicola.
Capicola.
Maybe it's Jenny Wade.
Cupola.
Has anyone ever mentioned Jenny Wade's ghost?
We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
We're going by alphabetical order. I'm on G.
Oh.
Gettysburg College. Blue Boy is a popular ghost in Stevens Hall at the college. The legend goes that one freezing winter night, a few girls snuck an orphan into their room to help him stay warm.
Oh, I was going to say, what the fuck are they doing with this orphan? But they're like, oh, they're helping him. Like, oh, okay. Good.
I mean, this could have went really bad. I mean, it's going to go bad regardless. But...
Yeah, true. I thought they were going to, like, try to haze him or something, or, like, play a prank.
Look at this orphan.
Oh, my God. Stupid orphan. I bet you're so dumb.
Let's amputate him. When a house mother unexpectedly came into the room, they hurried and shoved the orphan onto the 3rd-story window ledge to hide him.
Oh my God.
After the house mother left, they tried to let the boy back inside, but he was nowhere to be found.
Oh.
So it's not clear what happened to him, but the apparition of his freezing blue face pressed up against the window happens a lot.
Ew.
As well as strange noises throughout the dorm.
Oh my God, that freaks me out. Just like this little blue boy face, like, in the window.
And like freezing, his teeth chattering.
Yeah, ew!
Let me in!
You're gonna let me in?
Let me in!
Oh my God.
And yeah, that had nothing to do with Gettysburg, but because we're talking about hauntings at the Gettysburg College, I added it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this one's really weird. There's an elevator in Pennsylvania Hall. Again, the most haunted area in the college.
And America.
And in America. From...
See this shining sea.
Yes. In the 1980s, 2 college employees entered the elevator from the 4th floor, and they pushed the button to go down to the 1st floor.
Big mistake. Rookie move.
Rookie move. You never go from 4 to 1. It reminded me of never go ass to mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, never go 4 to 1. Okay, anyways. But their elevator passed the 1st floor and continued down to the fucking basement.
Ew!
Creepy.
What?
Then the elevator doors opened.
Oh, God.
And they saw the basement.
No!
And then they were like, this isn't the 1st floor.
And they're like, this is the basement. Press the button again.
Must have been a ghost. No, actually, it's way creepier than that. So, the elevator doors open to the basement, and they see a bloody Civil War operating room with doctors and nurses working quickly to save injured and dying soldiers and amputating limbs.
Oh, I hate that.
And it was weird because the room was completely silent. It was like a old black and white movie, and you couldn't hear anything, but you could see this happening. It's like they went into a different dimension. Like, I don't know.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it was like they were able to access this residual scene somehow.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, why?
Yeah, why did the elevator make them go to the basement to see this residual scene? That's so fucking weird. So, for some reason, they could see everything but not hear what was going on. But they could see there was a lot of chaos and stress with these doctors trying to save wounded soldiers. And the soldiers looked like they were, like, screaming in agony.
No.
The administrators were horrified, of course, when they saw this. So they were repeatedly pushing the elevator button.
Close.
Desperately trying to close the doors and leave this weird slip in time. Just before the doors closed, though, one of the orderlies looked up at them with a pleading look on his face, almost like he was asking them for help.
Oh, I hate that.
After the elevator finally took him to the right floor, the 2 employees got a security guard, and they returned to the basement, but everything was back to normal when they returned.
Of course. It always is.
Yeah.
And then the security guard's like, damn it, woman, this is the 3rd time this week.
You and your imagination.
Your womanly imagination.
That would be, like, so creepy, though. Like, elevators are creepy enough. You don't need to add all that in.
Yeah, and never go into a basement. Any basement, ever.
Well, they were forced by the elevator of hell.
Elevator of doom.
Next, we have Gettysburg Hotel. This was founded in 1797. The Gettysburg Hotel was located close to the battlefield, so they actually made it either into a headquarters or a makeshift hospital during the battle. Both guests and employees of the hotel talk about seeing Rachel, who's believed to be a Civil War era nurse. She wears nurse clothing from the Civil War, and she always seems to be looking for wounded soldiers to care for. Many people report seeing her walking through the halls, running down the stairs as if she's in a hurry to help someone.
Aww.
She's been known to wander the hotel rooms, looking through guests' dresser drawers, opening and closing closets and luggage, and turning the lights on and off.
Okay, so another peeping Tom.
Like, she's, like, looking through your stuff, and you're just like, oh, she's just a nurse trying to help someone.
Yeah, what if she finds, like, a vibrator or something?
She would not know what that is.
Oh, what is this contraption?
Is this to help amputate?
Put it against someone's arms. Amputate.
People have seen a young woman in Civil War period dress who appears in the ballroom and swiftly moves around as if she's dancing to music we can't hear. And guests have also seen a pale and faint-looking spirit of a man dressed in Civil War uniform with a bloody hole in his torso. People believe that this ghost was James Culbertson, who was a Union soldier. Legend has it that Culbertson was brought to the makeshift hospital at the hotel during the battle. He wanted to return to the battlefield, but he eventually died from a gunshot wound. A few times people heard Culbertson's spirit talk about wanting to join the battle and keep fighting, and cold spots will occur when he's around. So it's like he's like stuck wanting to join the battle that's like 160 years ago.
Yeah, someone should tell him, actually.
Someone should tell him.
Like, hey, this was like a long time ago, buddy.
But he's Union. It says he's a Union soldier, so hey, we won.
Yeah.
Next, we have Gettysburg Orphanage. After the Battle of Gettysburg, this building was converted into an orphanage. It was intended to house children who lost their parents in battle. The Gettysburg Children's Orphanage initially had a promising start, but when the headmistress was replaced by a woman named Rosa J. Carmichael, things got pretty fucking bad.
Oh no. Is it like Annie style?
Worse, maybe. Yeah, worse. Rosa Carmichael devised horrific punishments for the children living at the orphanage, even going so far as to create a dungeon in the basement where she chained misbehaving children up to the walls and kept them locked up for days without food or water.
Oh my god, no.
The floor is just dirt and the walls are just stone.
Sad. Poor babies.
Worse still was the pit, which was a small, dark alcove in the dungeon where children were forced to stay as punishment. Young children would sit in there for hours or days in the dark and all alone.
That's so sad.
Today, there are still child-sized shackles that hang from the walls.
Oh my god, I wouldn't even be able to look at that.
It's awful.
So scary.
And it's said that Rosa would actually use the older kids to torture the younger kids.
Whoa, fuck that.
The orphanage closed in 1877, but many believe it's still haunted by the spirits of the children who died from mistreatment, and others believe Rosa Carmichael haunts the orphanage. People have heard disembodied cries and groans. They felt tugs on their shirts. They will put toys in the basement, and sometimes the toys are moved. A few have even mentioned feeling a hand touch them, and oftentimes the toys will be rearranged or moved. So this isn't exactly Battle of Gettysburg, but it's like...
It has to do with it, because...
Such an iconic... Oh, yeah.
And, like, the parents died from it, so...
Yeah, this orphanage happened because of the Battle of Gettysburg, so,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it all intertwines.
Yeah. Ghost Adventures, when they went to Gettysburg to investigate, they chose to investigate the Gettysburg Orphanage. So I'll give you just, like, a brief summary of what happened on their investigation.
Hey, yo, Ghost, come on out, bitch! The Holy Trinity, oh my god! And then... Aaron, fuck you. Nick, fuck you. Is that how it went?
Basically. Here's kind of what evidence they got. Zach had asked, "Can you take the candy? Don't be afraid."
That was actually to a real little girl outside.
You want to get in my van? And he got an EVP that says, "You're wonderful, thank you." Nick had asked, "Can you play with us?" when they heard footsteps upstairs. So Nick said he felt like something was coming after him, like a soldier. Then they heard a noise, freaked out, and believe it was a rock that was thrown at Nick. And then they got an EVP that said, "Watch your back with them."
Ooh.
There is another moment where Aaron was upstairs doing a sweep of the museum, where there's lots of trigger objects. Aaron mentions the money in the museum case when he gets an EVP that says, "Pass all the Morgans."
Ooh.
And Morgans are silver dollars from the 1880s.
Ooh, interesting.
Then they go to the pit. Nick says, "Be careful, seriously, because I feel like there's something bad here." So they're all sitting in silence when Nick gets an EVP. "Bet you won't untie me."
Oh.
And you can just imagine this in Zach's voice. Is this spirit referring to the chains on these walls? And was he asking Nick to untie him?
Like, such a long sentence. Like, chill, Zach.
But the voice that said, "Betcha won't untie me," it sounded more like an adult man's voice rather than a child's voice.
It might be, like,
I don't
demonic
know.
or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh.
And then Zach decides to crawl through into the pit. And he says, "What do you want to do to me now that you've got me in your little jail cell?"
Ew.
The EVP comes back saying, "Kill the girl." Zach says, "Want to cave these walls in? Want to crush me to death? Want to suffocate me to death? Is that what you're trying to do, Rosa? Well, come and kill me." And then the EVP says, "I never killed again." Zach says, "Come and chain me up to this wall. Come and do it."
So dumb.
Aaron says he hears a snake slithering. And Zach really doesn't like snakes, so he's like, "I'm just sitting here in a rock dungeon. Don't say snake to me, bro."
Oh my god, such a fucking bro.
Yeah.
He's the bro.
Okay, next we have the Jenny Wade house, and Ghost Adventures also explored this house, so I have some stuff for you here. One civilian died, as you know.
Who?
Her name is Jenny Wade.
Oh, Jenny Wade.
And the house she died in was named after her.
The Jenny Wade house.
In honor of her memory, the Jenny Wade house, yeah. Today, this house is a museum that offers tours. She was making bread inside the house when a stray bullet from the battle outside went straight through 2 doors and hit her right in the heart, killing her instantly.
But also, sorry, like, just imagine, why, there's a battle going on outside. Why would you be in your house?
She was being a good civilian. She was making bread for the soldiers.
Aww.
She was staying behind to do what she could for the soldiers.
Oh, Jenny.
She dropped to the floor and died, her blood pooling onto the floorboards, making a stain that's still visible today.
Ew, sad.
Jenny was only 20 years old when she died.
Poor baby. But did her bread get made?
No, I mean, I'm sure probably blood got into the dough, I would assume, but I don't know.
Sourdough went to waste.
That was the real tragedy.
Yeah, sorry, Jenny.
But I bet that was the best fucking bread that was ever made.
In America?
But we didn't get to see the finished product.
From sea to shining sea.
So, after she died, R.I.P.
R.I.P. in
No
peace.
disrespect. We just like to laugh.
We just like to have fun here, huh?
Yeah.
We just like to yank some chains and pull some legs and...
We like to yank orphan chains and pull some amputated legs.
Oh my god. Amen, sister.
So Union soldiers, when they realized a civilian just got shot, they went in to help. They took the family upstairs, and they actually had to, like, work their way through the upstairs wall. So, like, picking at the wall and hammering the wall. I don't know what they did. But they had to break through the wall to go to the neighbor's attached house, then went down to the neighbor's basement.
Whoa.
Because they had to get into the basement, I guess, and I don't know. Yeah. But they put her body into the neighbor's basement, where she lay until the battle eventually ended.
Aww.
And when she died, she was engaged to Johnston Jack Skelly.
I want to marry him, too.
I mean, that's a freaking cool name. Yeah. Jack Skelly. Skellington. Sadly, the news of his fiance's death never reached him, as he died in captivity many miles away not long after her death.
Oh, What do you mean captivity? Like prisoner of war?
Yeah.
Oh.
Her family buried her temporarily in the front yard of the house. Then later her body was exhumed from its original burial site and laid to rest beside Skelly.
Good.
So at least they gotta be next to each other in death.
Yeah.
Some speculate that by moving her gravesite, her spirit was disturbed and doomed to linger in Gettysburg forever.
Oh,
Then what was the
sad.
point of putting her next to Skelly if it was
Yeah.
gonna cause her to be stuck there as a spirit?
Maybe we should go tell her, like, hey, you're at peace now. You're
Like,
next to your fiancé.
if you actually go to your body, that's where Skelly is.
Yeah, like, go over there. Shoo.
Jenny is said to still roam the house along with several children. People have heard ghosts walking around this area. They've seen a young woman through the kitchen window when no one's home. Many visitors to the site have reported being pushed, scratched, and pinched by an unseen force.
Pinched.
Yeah, pinched.
Rude.
I wonder where, though.
Booty.
Because it could mean a lot of different things, depending on where you're pinched.
Could be like a horny old man ghost.
Yeah. They often hear loud bangs, the voice of young children, doors slamming. They feel a rush of cold air, and sometimes people feel like a child has grabbed onto their legs.
Oh.
There's video evidence of orbs zooming through the walls and gathering around the blood mark where Jenny died. And people believe that Jenny's dad haunts the basement of this home. He was an inmate of Eastern State Pen, but they think his ghost came to this house for some reason.
And Jenny's ghost couldn't go to her fiancé?
He could travel all the way from Eastern State Pen
Yeah.
to this house, but Jenny can't for some reason travel to where Skelly is. People have reported negative energy being pushed, scratched, and more specifically by Jenny's dad, who they believe is a very bad person.
And probably pinched.
Maybe the pinching is him.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what happened when Ghost Adventures explored Jenny Wade's house.
Yes.
Or the Jenny Wade house. It wasn't actually her house, it was her sister's house. Zach says, "Hello, Jenny," while he's walking downstairs. And then they hear from the device that says words in a robotic voice, "Pass, property, helpful." And Zach says, "Is that right? We just passed into your property through the brick wall, and she was helpful to the Union soldiers?"
Oh.
I have chills.
Oh my god.
Grasping for straws here.
Oh. I hate it. I hate it. Oh.
Then the voice thingy says, "Drink, water." And Zach says, "She thinks I'm a soldier. That's why she's offering me a drink of water."
Oh
That's why we wear what soldiers wear, so that they can recognize us and communicate, Zach says. But all he's wearing that's a soldier thing is a soldier hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the rest of him is normal clothes.
Fuck, I hate this.
And then he says, "Was your boyfriend at war? Did you want to tell him anything before you died? I know you wanted to get married and start a family with him. Is that why you're not at rest?" And then the EVP says, "I'm pregnant."
Really?
And then Zach says, "This shocking voice cannot go unheard." Then they go down to the basement where her father haunts. And Zach says, "They say you're crazy and mean. Are you the one scratching and pinching people down here?" And then they hear an unexplained tapping. Okay, so this next part is ridiculous. There's a little, like, bed area in the basement because it's like a historical site. So they've set up a bed and they laid a mannequin there, like pretending it's Jenny.
Yeah.
So there's this mannequin laying on a bed in the basement for like tourists to come see where she was laying.
Yeah.
So Zach, of course, trying to get ghosts to react. So he starts to get on top of the Jenny mannequin on the bed.
Zachary.
And he says, "What happens if I lay over here?" And he, is getting on the mannequin, looking like he wants to have sex with it or something. And Aaron says, "That looks weird, man." Zach says,
God.
"Just trying to get evidence."
Evidence, or are you trying to fuck a mannequin, bro?
And then I hear Aaron mutter, "Yeah, necrophilia."
Yeah. Aaron's amazing.
And then the EVP says, "Don't think that's gonna happen."
Haha. Yes.
And then Zach asks, "Do you not like that I'm over here?" He's like really on top of the mannequin at this point. And then he goes still, and then all of a sudden he freaks out and he jumps off the mannequin and runs away to the other side of the room, and he's like freaking out. And then he starts yelling, "I just felt someone grab my ass. Like hard, Nick. Like I could really feel this on my butt. Someone grabbed my ass." Was this the spirit of Jenny Wade's father?
Oh my god. So wait, he thinks it's Jenny Wade's father that grabbed his ass? Oh my god.
Like, yeah, I like when you're on my daughter. Let me join in.
Ew, that's so weird, Zach. What the fuck? Ew.
And Zach said that was the hardest time he's ever been physically touched. Like, ever.
Okay, well, I think that is weird, and he's probably lying, and it's definitely not her dad, if anyone, so, yeah.
Maybe Jenny liked that he was getting on top of her, and she's like, ooh.
She hasn't had action in a while.
She's like, forget Skelly.
Yeah. I mean, I'd dump my boyfriend for Zach if I had one.
Sad.
Line up, boys. This is no a dating
Whoever
site.
grabs my ass the best gets to be my boyfriend.
That'd be a great little, like, competition.
All right, we're done with the Jenny Wade house. Now on to Sachs Covered Bridge. Satches. Sachs? S-A-C-H-S.
I think Saks. Because Saks Fifth Avenue?
Sure. The Sachs Covered Bridge on Waterworks Road is a beautiful covered bridge constructed in 1852. It looks like the one you see in Sleepy Hollow, only it's bright red and a little bit longer.
Cute!
It is designated as Pennsylvania's most historic bridge.
In North America.
From sea to signing sea. It was heavily used during the Civil War by both Union and Confederate troops. Each side would cross the bridge in their turn, and the retreating Confederate army had to cross the bridge at the end of the battle. Legends tell of 3 Confederate soldiers who deserted their unit or were accused of being spies were captured and hanged from this covered bridge.
Oh, sad.
Like, no way to make this historic, beautiful bridge part of our history by hanging men off of it, right?
Oh.
The spirits of the executed men are believed to haunt the bridge.
I would too.
Me too. People have spotted shadows and outlines of soldiers on the bridge, mists that arise from the water in the shape of men, and shadows and dark spots are seen in photos that are taken there.
Ooh.
Visitors have witnessed full-body apparitions of a soldier pacing along the bridge's length. They've also smelled cigar or pipe smoke, heard voices, hear the sounds of cannons firing in the distance, and they've also felt someone touch them on the shoulder, but no one is there. A group of paranormal investigators went to Sachs Bridge, and while they were there, a strange fog filled the air. Reminds me so much of Sleepy Hollow.
I know.
And then they saw lights from across the field, and suddenly they heard sounds of horses and cannon fire, and it lasted for over 20 minutes.
Whoa.
Then it all just suddenly went away.
Ew, that's creepy.
The group left the bridge, but some of them returned again later to see if they could get more experiences, and they ended up seeing shadow people darting by and hearing men's voices.
Creepy.
And then when they heard growling and the sounds of battle, they finally left.
Yeah, that's when you gotta get the fuck out once you hear growling.
Yeah.
Sister.
Last place. This one is the Tilly Pierce House Inn. The inn is reportedly haunted by several ghosts. 15-year-old Tilly Pierce became an unlikely heroine when she and other local residents were trapped in Gettysburg as 2 armies raged in battle around them. Even though she was just a teenager, she provided soldiers with food and water, kind of like Jenny Wade did.
Yeah.
She even assisted nurses and doctors caring for wounded soldiers.
She was 15?
Yeah.
Sweet girl.
She kept a journal, which was made into a book called At Gettysburg, or What a Girl Saw and Heard of the Battle. This journal gives us an idea of what the townspeople went through while the battle was going on around them. She says in her journal, quote, "Nothing before in my experience had ever paralleled to the sight we then and there beheld. There were the groaning and crying, the struggling and dying, crowded side by side, while attendants sought to aid and relieve them as best they could, end quote. The Tilly Pierce Inn, which is where she lived, is now a bed and breakfast.
Let's stay there too. So we'll just add like all these bed and breakfasts.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll stay for like a week.
This whole town is now like a huge tourist attraction. All these bed and breakfasts, and you can stay at these haunted places.
Yeah.
So guests who have stayed at this inn have reported hearing people walking above them in the attic. Others claim feeling someone sit on their bed and watch them. Apparitions of various soldiers in full uniform have been seen wandering the halls, and a soldier constantly walks up and down the stairs, almost as if he's patrolling the area.
Well, that'd be annoying if you hear creaking all night, like go to sleep, soldier.
You like give them a bad review, like all the ghosts kept me up all night.
That'd be hilarious, honestly.
And the most haunted place in the inn is said to be the Blue Room.
The Blue Room.
So we'll need to make sure to stay there.
Yeah.
And that's it for the Battle of Gettysburg.
It was lovely. So we need to make a little trip out there.
Yeah, that'll be amazing.
Stay everywhere and report back. And R.I.P. in peace, Jenny Wade. And I hope that
everyone
she's
else
making sourdough in heaven.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Please follow us on social media and just look us up. Patreon.com/Weirdaholics if you'd like to support us and listen to deleted scenes, bonus stories.
Our early deleted scenes are hilarious, so highly
All
recommend.
of them.
Oh, there was like one that I was just like, I said like one word, like "bit," and it was deleted. So it was just like, eh.
Not
All
really.
of them are great. All of them
She's
are so
underselling
funny.
our Patreon.
Yeah, you should just...
Everyone sign up.
Do it, or die.
And please write us a review, because we could use some good reviews and more reviews. Apple Podcasts would be a great place to give us a review. We'd really appreciate it. Spotify is another great one. Thank you so much for supporting us, and sorry again for taking so long getting this episode out. Hopefully we'll be more on the schedule now.
Shout out to Matt, Brandon, James, Emmy, the Henry family, Jill, I don't know who else. Everyone who listens, shout out to you all.
Shout out to you.
That was dumb.
That was pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But I liked it still.
Yeah. Okay, well. Drink.